Well, howdy there, folks. This is your host, ID Jester. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome back to Marvel Heroes. We're going to continue looking at our ways to improve your Marvel Heroes experience. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the user interface here on your screen here, and basically just some tips on managing and getting around into the different hubs and stuff like that. So this is mostly, again, for the newer players that are new to Marvel Heroes, unsure how or what to do, and I'm just going to give you some tricks and stuff that I've learned, some tips, just talk about some things that maybe you didn't realize, and hopefully this will be a big help to you. So first thing here is obviously we're going to be talking about the interface, and up in the top right hand corner you got your little mini-map. There are certain times where you want to zoom in and out of the mini-map. Mostly you want to zoom out, so it shows you more of the mini-map. So you want to definitely keep that in mind. There are X-Defense missions and stuff you'll come on that you'll be in one location, one little map, and you can almost see the whole map, but you can't quite fit it all in. If you were to just minimize your map a little bit, hit this little minus key here, you can definitely get that whole map in there, and it'll be a lot easier for you. So like Midtown Manhattan and stuff like that, you probably won't need to zoom in or out on that. But some of the other locations, the X-Defense especially, and the Holosim, if you zoom in and out on those. The other thing about the mini-map is you notice there's this red border going around it. Well, the red border is there because there are 3 different modes that you can play in. Your default to normal difficulty, and once you've completed the story mode or reached level 25, you can then switch over to heroic difficulty. If you go to normal mode, if we switch, you'll notice our
Let's hustle. I have a business to run.
Our map is now got a green border, which is just normal. If we switch over to heroic difficulty, like I said, you need to be level 25 to unlock that. Once you do that, if you unlock heroic difficulty and you switch to that, it'll go to a yellow border. And last but not least, again, once you reach level 45, you will unlock super heroic difficulty. And if you do that, you will have a red map, a red border on your map. So you can quickly and easily see, based on the border of your map, what mode you're in, either in green mode, which is normal, orange mode, or yellow-orange. I guess it's more of a yellow. That is heroic mode, and then of course red is super heroic mode. You will notice that the actual information here is that the difficulty will only adjust when you're in the story zone mode. So the only time this is actually going to come into play is if you are in enemy strength, and the loot quality will be greatly increased in the story zone only. So just keep that in mind. The other thing I did find out the other day, and this is kind of off the beaten path, but if you're actually looking to join a group, and you are higher level, if you want to do raids and stuff like that, you need to be in super heroic difficulty. I was not in super heroic difficulty, and I kept sending invites and people weren't inviting me, and then somebody replied back and said that I needed to adjust my difficulty mode, and once I adjusted it to super heroic difficulty, then I was able to join in other groups as well. So just keep that in mind. If you're up to level 60, you probably want to switch to super heroic difficulty, just for the fact that A, you'll get better loot quality items if you're in the story zones, and B, if you're trying to join other people are probably already in super heroic difficulty, and you can't join someone that's in a different difficulty than yourself. So just keep that in mind. That's pretty much up here for the mini map. The last thing I will tell you is you can always, no matter where you're at, you can hold the B key, and no matter where you're at, it'll take you back to the Avenger Tower. So it'll just, you know, if you're somewhere and you're not sure where you're at or where you want to be, or you have to go and log out of the game, and you want to get out of the game, you can hit the B key or just hit this little button up here at the top, and it will take you to the Adventure Tower. We're going to look at how to navigate in a little bit here. The other thing I would highly recommend that you do is over here on the right hand side, the mission tracker. You just see a little button for it. You can actually click this several times and it'll kind of scroll through your different missions that you have. So you have a, I guess this is an orange border one, and this is your legendary quest, and kind of gives you information about your legendary quest. If you continue, you can get to a pink or purple one, and the pink or purple one are the daily quests. And then you can turn the mission tracker off or back on. So this is kind of the 3 different modes. You can also kind of see what those are by hitting your L key. L is in love. If you click on that, you can see our legendary quest for the day, and it gives you all the information and even gives you a hint about what to do about it. So when you use the red, the green, or the cosmic terminal and go to Odin's Palace, there I am going to do certain things. I'm going to defeat Kursk, I'm going to get some of his lieutenants, I'm going to rescue some injured civilians, and gives me a reward, 1 Odin mark, some experience points, and some credits. So that is all really, really good. So that's what this is. I would highly recommend that you keep this open pretty much all the time, and I normally leave it on this mode. If you play in this if you watch my videos, you know I kind of play with this mode open because I'm normally working on the terminals or the holosims or the industrial city or the Midtown Patrol. And let's talk about why these are important. So these are all very, very, very important. That's not the right key. That's a better key. Because of the rewards that you're going to get for them being Odin marks. So Odin marks are kind of the end-all, the be-all currency, and we're going to actually spend another video talking about the different currencies in the game and how to collect them and where to go to turn them in and stuff like that. So we're not going to spend a lot of time in this video talking about it, but and Odin marks are what you're going to use to get certain blessings, to give you bonuses for your characters, or to pick up legendary items once you've unlocked your legendary item slots. You can see here I've got actually a legendary pot of gold on this character that is now up to rank 4 for this character, and so that's what the Odin marks do. And you will also notice that if we go back into here, our shared quests, you will see that each of these quests can be completed, and if you complete them, you will also receive some Odin marks, and these will all come into play so that you can pick up different legendary items, and you can bless different artifacts to give your character that much more abilities and powers, and you're definitely going to want to do that towards the later end of your characters, when they start getting to max level of 60, or when they start preparing them to go on raids and stuff like that. So definitely want to try to complete these quests. Of course, you want to do your
man, can you be serious for 2 seconds?
Your legendary quests if you can. In this case, it's probably not that hard. I could probably go and defeat Kursk and take on his lieutenants and civilians and all that, and then I'm going to be working my way towards these as well. I'm going to be doing that. If you're brand new, haven't played Marvel Heroes much, first thing I would highly recommend you do is play through the story. Play through the story a couple times. Just go through the game really easy, and I'll kind of talk about that here in a little bit when we talk about how to manage and get around in the system. Next thing you want to do is come down to the bottom right hand corner, and you want to click on your buffs. I like to keep my buffs open because it'll show you all of the buffs that you have currently going on. These are all the bonuses and stuff that you have from drinking potions or any of your special items that you've done, plus anybody that is allied with you, or another character or another hero that's with you or near you, they might be giving you buffs. So definitely want to leave this open so you can see what kind of buffs you're going to get. You can see I've now turned on Constitution buff. So everybody that's around me will be getting health regeneration. So it's always good to know what other characters are giving you buffs around. So you can turn this on and off, but usually there's just a little bit of screen. It doesn't distract very much around. You also sometimes see where special events or special items that people use that'll give you certain buffs that'll last for a certain amount of time. And most of them you can see will have a timer countdown on it, and you're not sure. You're just going to kind of put your mouse over it, and you can see how long it's going to be. Alright, so that brings us over to the left hand side. The menu system, I like to actually keep the menu system open. It doesn't really matter if you know all the shortcut keys. If you don't know the shortcut keys, you will by just mousing over. You can bring up your character by hitting the I key. You can bring up your powers by hitting the P key. You can bring up your quest by hitting the L key. You can bring up the store by hitting the X key. You'll learn them eventually, or you can just keep your menu open for the menu open so you can use all the different options by just clicking the button. Oh, I can just come down here and click on powers. I can come down here and click on roster, or I could just hit the key. This is kind of an important one based on what you're going to do. If you're just going to go through the story and play through by yourself and stuff, I would just keep scrolling through this and just turn it off. You don't really need all that information coming on. The only advantage is that every once in a while they will have broadcast events come out, and you want to be able to check and see what's going on, where to go, and what kind of event they have going on. So you can see there's a broadcast event. This happened when I logged in this afternoon. It just says Happy Holidays, collect holiday spirit power-ups by defeating enemies, and then defeat that specific boss to receive special holiday loot. Pretty easy, pretty simple, but definitely you can keep that chat open for that if you're interested. If you're not really interested in that, you can just scroll through by just clicking on the little thing here, and you can close it out. The other thing you can do is normally it goes to the All tab. You can have multiple tabs going on, and you can see that we can create a new tab by clicking on it and clicking on, say, we can create a party, and then we can have a party tab. We could have one that has a say tab, one that's just the team, one to tell, different options for you. I pretty much don't use this other than the LFG, and for those of you who don't know what LFG is, it is the looking for group, which is kind of very important because you can see right here over my head, I have got a special event that I can go and do now where I got to go kill Kingpin. The other advantage I can do is actually I can wait till somebody else is asking for people that want to go fight Kingpin or looking to kill Kingpin. They will put a message out there, and then I can put in invite or INV and then Kingpin or INV KP, whatever. See, somebody here is actually looking for anybody want to go to the zoo. And so there's a couple people that are saying, okay, invite me, and this person will invite them, and they'll go and do that quest or that part of the mission. So if somebody was to say, oh, I'm at Kingpin, if anybody needs to come kill Kingpin, I would just, obviously type in INV KP. Oop, KP. Kingpin. So, in that case, if that person's nice enough, they would invite me, and I would get a little message and say, you've been invited. I would join them, it would open a portal, and I would go and be able to hook up with them and kill Kingpin without having to actually go in and fight all the way through it. On the other end of the spectrum, I can actually go in and I could fight my way all the way to Kingpin, and before I go to fight Kingpin, I could broadcast and say, okay, I'm at Kingpin, does anybody want to come? And then if anybody says, invite me, I would invite them. A whole bunch of people are going to fight Doom now, it looks like. So Doom, as you know, is one of the longest maps and a very hard map. So if you wanted to go fight Doom at the end, this would be your opportunity for that. We're going to actually look at questing and
Jean over
rating
there has
and
history.
messaging and
Let's
stuff
leave it
in
at
another
that.
video, but I just wanted to kind of talk about what good the chat window is good for. I normally keep it in the mode here or all the way off. It does take up a lot of bit of space. I wish there was a way I could zoom it over a little bit, but nope, no such luck. That's pretty much the user. Oh yeah, the last thing up here in the top left-hand corner is basically calculating your lengthency, the time it takes for the data to get sent from Marvel's Hero server over to your computer. And obviously 3 green bars is obviously good. I got a good fast connection going on. There's no delays. Everything should run really smooth, really fast. If you're getting an orange bar, then you might run into a little bit of lag. And obviously if you're only got one little bar, you could have some issues with not syncing up right with the game server and not, just having delays in your game and stuff like that. So, if you're having issues, just look at this little latency bar over there and just double check. So I'm going to actually come over here and, I guess I should have done that, but that's okay. Alright, so for you new players or people that haven't played much Marvel Heroes, I'm just going to show you basically your ways to get around here. So what I'm going to do is actually warp to the prologue. I can't warp to the prologue, really, because that's only for level 44 to 44. Anyways, you would probably start at the prologue. And that's basically, you're just going to start out in the street, and it's a little weird that I can't actually get to the prologue. A little weird. Anywho, there are a few different bases as you're playing through the game that you're going to unlock. The first one you're going to unlock, you work through the prologue, then you're going to go in and you're going to go to Chapter 1. And Chapter 1 is going to take place at the Avenger Tower, which happens to be here.
Spider-Man, can you be serious for 2
And
seconds?
you've probably seen this if you've spent any time looking at different videos and stuff on my game channel. This is the Adventure Tower. All your different crafters and everything are located here. You can see up in our little mini map. Here's the Eternity Splitter vendor, the Fortune Card vendor, the Asgardian Enchanter. Just about everybody you need is located here in the base. Your stash is over here. You can come look at your stash and trade items out and just hang out, meet people, talk to people, whatever you want to do here. And as you play through the game, you're actually going to come across several different of these locations. So the first one you're going to get through Chapter 4 is going to be the Adventure Tower. Once you get to Chapter 5, you're going to unlock Xavier's School. So we're going to go ahead and warp over to Xavier's School here so get a look at Xavier's School. So again, this, just like all the bases, this has just a different layout, but it has the same thing. It's got your stash here, it's got all your vendors over here. Here's the Asgardian, here's the Fortune Card vendor, here's the Eternity Splitter. There's ways to actually get to the different terminals and stuff. Just clicking on these little computer stations here. Here's Cleo over here, which is your cube shard collector. So all your different vendors are going to be located in your different bases. So this is the second base you're going to unlock. Is going to be the Xavier School. And then followed up by, you're going to play through Chapter 5, 6, and 7. Once you get to level 8, you're going to open up the Shield Helo Carrier. Again, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to have all your different crafters and everything located here. You have your different terminals. As you're playing through the story mode, you're going to meet lots of people. You're going to have to come talk to him, and you're going to have to go and talk to different people just so they can learn the lay of the land, I guess. So if we come in here, here's our different vendors here. Here's a weapon vendor. Here's our Reed Richards, which is our main crafter here. Here is a gear vendor here, and all your different vendors are located here somewhere. You just gotta learn where they're at and move around, and you can get to them. And then last but not least, this is looking through Chapter 8. You unlock the Helo Carrier, and then finally, Chapter 9, you're going to unlock Odin's Palace, and that is the last base currently in the system. And this one is just like all the other ones, except for it has several special vendors that you will not find anywhere else. So you want to keep that in mind. This is where our legendary vendor is. This is where we can purchase all these legendary items I talked about earlier with our Odin marks. You can spend those to purchase different items, and you can see give me an extra 500 damage rating with melee attacks. Ooh, yeah, that would be really good for a melee character, obviously. Or this one's here is going to give me brutal damage rating. This one's going to give me area power rating. This one's going to give me +1 strength, fighting durability, and speed, and +2 ranks to all my powers. This one is for energy attacks. So depending on what kind of damage your character does, you might want to pick up one of these items. But I will tell you, we're going to have a special episode talking just about legendary items, what I did wrong, and kind of hopefully prevents you from wasting your legendary items as well, your Odin marks. So be sure to look for that video to come shortly. But this is where you can spend this. So the only way you can get the legendary Asgardian hero here is here in Asgard. And there is one other special vendor way over here on the other side of the map. Okay, where are you? Down over here. And this guy is found nowhere except for here as well. And he is Hogan. And this is where you can spend your Eyes of Demon Fire and your Hearts of Demon Fire, which are special currency again that you can use to purchase upgrade slots, uniques and cosmics, upgrade them to different level other than level 60. Once you get up to level 60, the best item you can find is level 60, but you cannot find better items if you do certain special events and raids, and then you can upgrade them with these demon fires and hearts fires. So normally, I guess I should say, the best item you can find is level 60, but there's other items level 63, 66, and 69 that you can get if you run the special raids and stuff like that. We'll talk about that in another episode. So there's a couple special vendors here that are found nowhere else. But if you look at your shield, Helo Carrier, your Avenger Tower, your Savior School, and your shield Helo Carrier, they basically all have the same thing. They have the same vendors, the same crafters, and in fact, Odin's Place also has all those, plus it has the couple special that are just located here. So hopefully that was a way to figure out how to get around and how to get different places. If you're ever stuck for trying to get somewhere or figuring out what you want to do, remember that if you play through the campaign, which I obviously highly recommend you play through the campaign, it's a very good campaign. You should end about level 25-ish. As you fight your way through it, about level 25. And once you do that, you will unlock heroic mode. You will switch to heroic mode. You can play through the campaign again. And once you finish that the second time, you should end up around level 45. When you get to level 45, you unlock super heroic, and then you can replay the super heroic, and you will see that the prologue's level 44 to 47. That's about where you're going to stop the second time through. And you can see eventually you work your way through, and then eventually you'll get to chapter 8. where you can get, you have to be level 60, and then of course max level 60 here for chapter 9 as well. And once you reach max level, then you have to decide what you're going to do. You can either pick up a new character and start running through the campaign, or are you looking just to level that character up and get as much experience points, get them up to level 60 as fast as possible. Really depends on what you want to do. Some of the different modes you can get into are going to level your characters much higher, and this will be how I end the video, is kind of just talking about the different things. Obviously, playing through the story mode a couple times, it's a really good story, plus it gives you some special rewards for your character you're playing it through that you cannot get anywhere else. You'll get some stat points at certain points. I think chapter 4, chapter 5 gives you a stat point. Chapter 7 gives you a special item or something like that. So you get a few things. If you complete the story, I believe, all the way through chapter 9, you get an account bonus. That'll give you a bonus for all the characters you're playing. Something sort of similar to that. So if you've never played Marvel Heroes at all, definitely play through the story at least once, maybe twice. I played it through about 5 or 6 times. It's fun. Lots to do. You can go to different areas. You get to see lots of different monsters in different locations. There's different missions. There's different little side quest things. So pretty good. So if you're new, you want to be doing that. If you are just trying to level up your characters as fast as you possibly can, you don't really care about the story, you played through the story a few times, you're just looking to level up your characters as fast as you can, I would recommend you do the X Defense and Shield Hollow Sim. These two seem to level up characters slightly faster than the other modes. My second choice would either be, and these two are very similar. The Shield Hollow Sim and the X Defense are very similar. The X Defense is going to be you and a group of 4 other people, so a maximum of 5 are going to fight off waves of enemies, and as each round goes, the enemies get harder and tougher and harder to beat. Shield Hollow Sim is basically you and one other person. You're going to do the same thing in a smaller location though, and different kinds of enemies are going to be coming at you. So these two are very similar, but because you're working with other people and they're killing enemies and you're getting bonuses and stuff like that, you can go through that pretty quickly, and you can earn XP probably slightly faster than any of the other modes. Slightly faster than obviously faster than the story mode. The next fastest is Midtown Patrol and Industrial City Patrol. These two are very similar. They're just different maps with different monsters and different events. And the important thing to keep in mind is when we talk about our mission tracker over here, remember our mission tracker is talking about completing these so we can get our Odin marks, we can get all of our bonuses, we can get all these great things. Industrial City Patrol will be one day, the next day will be Midtown, and then they kind of alternate back and forth. So one day it'll be in Industrial City Patrol, and the next day will be Midtown. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to do all these things in Industrial City. I'm going to complete the quest. I'm going to get some Odin marks. And then they'll do the same thing with the Shield Hollow Sim and the X Defense. So one day it'll be the Hollow Sim, and the next day it'll be X Defense. And they'll kind of rotate them back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then last but not least, the Terminal Shared are kind of just a random terminal creature story. Like they'll choose 2 or 3 of these different missions you got to go and defeat. So in this way, we got to go kill Kingpin, which is going to be Fist Tower. We got to trash the Fist Tower, so we got to do like 100 points of damage to all the equipment and everything. And we got to kill 1,000 henchmen, and then we got to defeat Shocker. These are actually pretty easy quests. I'll be able to complete all of these probably within an hour. And each of the different shared quests is probably going to give you, I would say on average, normally it gives you 2 chests. The first chest you normally get 3 or 4, and the next chest you probably get around 5. So I would say maybe you would average 8 or so Odin marks. And you can see that if you need 300 to buy an item, you're going to need to do these quests over and over and over again, day after day, just to get the 300. So you want to take full advantage of those for sure. So yeah, the as far as XP goes, X Defense, Hollow Sim, probably the just slightly faster than Midtown Patrol and Industrial City Patrol. Midtown Patrol and Industrial City Patrol. I normally play those modes the most. If you watch my videos, I do these the most. They give you really good XP. There's always something going on. You don't have to worry about waiting to hook up with people in these. In these two, you have to wait to hook up with people. In these two, you don't have to worry about that. You don't need to worry about hooking up with other people. They'll just show up on the map. And they're basically, for me, the funnest. And they do almost as much XP as the Shield, Hollow Sim, and the X Defense. Now, with that said, keep in mind that Mondays in Midtown Madness on Mondays, when you play Midtown Patrol on Mondays, they drop special chests to give you extra XP. So Midtown Patrol on Mondays is always your best way to get the most XPs for your characters. You will earn probably an extra 20% XP for doing your Midtown Patrol, because all the bosses you kill leave special chests, plus they'll leave fortune cards behind. It's Mondays, you definitely want to spend for sure logging in and playing Midtown Patrol. And then, of course, the raids. We haven't really talked about the raids. We're going to talk about these another episode. We're going to talk about raiding and getting your characters ready to raid. And then, last but not least, the beta Fire and Ice player versus player. I'm not interested in this. I don't know much about it. I've never done it. Don't really care about it. So I don't know anybody that does it. So I can't even tell you anything about it. But you earn special Crowns of Valor or something like Crowns of Valors for participating in PvP matches. The only reason I have 15 is because some of the daily rewards, I think, were these items. So I don't do them. I don't really care about them. So anyhow, hopefully that's a good way to figure out what you're doing when you're getting in the game, and what all the different stuff does, and how to get around, and what things do. The last thing I'm going to tell you before we log off is I'm going to have an episode coming up of talking about all the different currencies in the game, what you're going to be doing with them, and what you should be trying to achieve with them. So if you're new to the game and you're just starting out and you're gathering some eternity splitters and some Odin marks and some Q shards and some credits and all that stuff, I would just hold on to those until I talk to you, because I've made some mistakes with my characters, and I'm trying to really get a video out to show you and talk to you about what I've done that was incorrect, and to try and help you maximize your time with Marvel Heroes so you can get the best bang for your buck. So hopefully this is a good video to help you get started, and we'll see you next time here at Marvel Heroes. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave your thoughts and comments below, and if you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And we'll see you next time, folks. Thanks for watching.